Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Harriet. I am so excited to be with you today. I hear I'm doing an art project, and I hear that our art project is art in nature. We're going to make a nature art collage. So if I look a little hot, it's because I've been outside running around in my yard looking for things to collect to put in our project for today or to use. But one of the things I found just laying around my house, because we like the beach, I found some seashells. So I'm going to see what I can do with my seashell. Look at this one. Isn't it interesting? See all the barnacles? Is that the right word? That is trying to grow, that it was on that one. And then I have this one. Are the colors not wonderful? So somehow I'm going to use some seashells as I do my art. And some of you might know that I live out on a farm. And so a couple weeks ago, I was out trimming my trees at the farm, at the house. And I looked up in one of the trees and I found a bird's nest. Well, back then, I thought that bird's nest might still have use for mom and baby, and I didn't pull it down. So this afternoon, I went running out to that tree and I said, let's see if it's still there. We've had some storms. In fact, it rained all day today or this morning at my house. And so I went out there to look, and look, guys, look what I found. I found this beautiful bird's nest. Okay, so guys, I found this really neat bird's nest. And if you look really close into it, you're going to find some things that are in my yard all the time. I found a piece of twine that's used to make the hay bales, because we use red twine and some white twine. Can't talk today. You never know what you're going to get. Oh my goodness. I found a piece of green twine. And we have dogs and we have livestock and horses, and I'm finding horse hair or dog's hair all in the middle of my little bird's nest. That is amazing. I'm actually going to put it in a bag when we finish our art class today, and I'm going to keep it. In fact, it might go in a special place. Okay, look at this. Is it not neat? This is going to make the neatest little paintbrush in a few minutes. I pulled it off one of my plants that I have growing outside the house. I like flowers, and it was in my flower pot. And we put a sycamore tree in the yard years ago, and this is what a sycamore ball looks like. I think it's going to be a neat paintbrush in just a few minutes. And then I pulled a flower off my lantana bush or flower, and it's got lots of little tiny flowers. We'll see what we can do with that in just a moment. And I pulled a zinnia or zinnia, however you pronounce it. We're going to see what we can do with that because it's got a soft middle there. Oh yeah. I went walking again and I found a piece off the holly tree. I think that's going to make a neat paintbrush. See those little stickers on the end, those little thorns? Can you see those? I think it might have to use it like a paintbrush or a pencil. And then I have another end that's really sharp. Might be using that. Okay, we also have a river birch tree. And this is what I found laying out beside my river birch tree. You know what this is? This is the bark off the side of my tree. We're going to see what we can do with that. And then I pulled another flower. So let's get started, because in my collection of stuff, I have a piece of white cardstock. Okay, so go find your white cardstock if you don't already have. You don't have it with you, or pause, go get it, come back. I picked up some markers. I went out to my craft table and I grabbed a handful of markers, variety of colors. Don't know how I'm going to use it, but we're going to figure that out. I also picked up an ink pad. So we're going to figure out what to do with that. This is literally make it work art project. Use what you've got. That's how we're going to use it. We're going to make it work. And in my basket, see, I pulled out whole types of stuff. I found an old sponge dauber thing, and I found some ink or some paint. We're going to see if it works. Let me open it up, because I haven't opened this up in a long time. It still works. We're going to make it work. And I found another bottle of paint. So let's get started. Have you got your stuff together? Let's see what we can make work. I need to move some things out of the way so we don't have another boo-boo. And I'm going to, wait a minute, let me do something really important. Let me shake this up. Now make sure you don't have a mess on your table. I've got down on my table some wax paper. And if you've got mom or dad or big brother, sister, older brother, sister around who can help you with some of this stuff, because the last thing we want you to do is to make a mess and then somebody be upset with you. So I am lightly pouring out some of my paint on a surface to protect, and it's being protected. Okay, so I want you to do that too. I'm going to close that up. Okay, here's my white paper again. Let's see what we're going to do. I've put a little bit of paint on the end of my dauber, and I'm going to daub the end of my sycamore ball, and I'm going to put it on my, oh my goodness. Wait a minute, I'll show you in just a moment. I love what I'm seeing. Hang on, hang on. Can you see? Oh, wait a minute, let me back it in the camera. You see those little daubs? Those little places? Is that not cool? Cool beans. I love it. Okay, let's see what I can do with my paintbrush. I put my paintbrush in my ink. I gotta fix that. I'm doing all types of crazy things this afternoon, but I can fix that. I'm fixing it right now. And I'm going to put it on the edge of my ink pad. What I'm trying to do is to take the end of my seashell and rolling it across my ink pad. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's sort of working. I'm experimenting. I didn't get a whole lot. I don't think you can see it. I sort of made a mark. I'm going to try with the paint and see what happens there. And I'm just going to roll it. Oh, wow. I like this. Miss Margaret, can you tell I'm excited about what I'm seeing? It made a neat texture. So I'm just trying all types of textures to get it to work. That's pretty neat. And I did it in a really simple way. I put ink on my shell and then I just rolled it back and forth. That was cool. Okay, what else I have? Ooh, I have a flower. Let's see if I put my flower in my ink pad. Let's see, did it pick it up? Slightly. Oh my goodness, did y'all just hear that cat? I have a cat in the house. Okay, that flower's a little too tender for that. So, see, I'm trying. We never know what we're going to get till it works. Miss Margaret, I am going to pick up, I call it a cattail. What would you call that?
That's what I call it too.
I'm going to call it a cattail. I'm going to paint it. See what happens. I'm going to push it down on that paper. It looks just like a cattail, I declare. Look at that little image it left. That's pretty neat. Now, I know I've not got a lot on my paper yet. Look what I did to my ink pad. I put blue ink on it. I got to fix that. I'll fix it. I'll get it off some way, shape, or form. See what I'm doing? I'm doing something else. But look, it's getting the shape of the cattail in my ink pad. So I'm doing an ink transfer of the ink pad and the shape onto my paper.
And Miss Harriet, part of what we're talking about is what God created and what humans created. So in your picture, you've got things that God created and things that humans created.
That is correct. And you know, it's really neat. Just because it didn't end up what I thought it was going to end up looking like, it doesn't make it wrong. It makes it different. And then if I don't like it, I can keep adding to it and adjust it. Right now, I've got in my hand this piece of bark. See my bark? And I'm actually trying to get the blue ink off my ink pad. But as I'm transferring that ink from my ink pad to my bark, let's see what I can draw on here. I might just draw, see if I can draw circles. Oh my goodness. I like that texture it's getting. It's really different. Miss Margaret, let me show that to you. Can you see the circular shapes?
Oh,
Yeah. And oh
certainly
gosh,
can.
got ink on my fingers. I'm a messy artist. Can you tell? But I'm happy.
Well, it's fun to see you experimenting, though.
Yeah. You know, when we do collages, you don't know what you're going to get until you're completely finished. And when are you finished? When you say you are, not when someone else says you are. So as you're working tonight or today on your collage, and you keep working on it tomorrow with your nature, I'm going to give you some challenges. I'm going to say, guys, I want you to go out. See if you can find your piece of bark. See what you can do with that. Go out, find you a holly leaf, or just find you a leaf. Let's see what I can get mine to do. I'm going to pick that ink up. And I'm going to lay it on here, see what shape I get.
And children, if you have markers, that's
Yeah.
something you could set it down and trace around it with your marker, whatever it is that you find. Or if you have watercolors, you can set it down, set what you find on the paper and paint over it and see what kind of shape it ends up being.
See what you end up with. Yeah, I have a water marker color thing. Let's see what I can get off of it. Let's pull up one more of my seashells before we say we've got to finish. Oh boy, the shape is giving. You might not have realized until I add this color, this beautiful, natural. Look at that. Can you see that? You wouldn't have seen those dots earlier. That is neat. Let's see if I can transfer that to the paper. You know, it's transferring it some, not a whole lot. But what I did was I took my marker, my brush marker, and I took my seashell, and I just laid that color on there, and now I'm going to lay it back on here. But
And Miss
then,
Harriet, they have seashells. They're for another project, but they could use them in this project and then have them ready for the next
they
project.
could. That would, oh, Miss Margaret, that'd be a great idea. Now, I traced mine, but it's not as impressive. I don't know if you can see that or not. The tracing it right here is not nearly as impressive as the dots that it made when it went across that transfer. It's almost like I did a rubbing, isn't it?
Well, it is. And like you said, you never know how it's going to end up looking.
No,
But
until you're
it's fun
finished.
to experiment because some of the things for me that I think will work won't, and some of the things I think won't work too. So you never
Yeah,
know.
you never know. So, guys, I cannot wait to see what you come up with, what pretty projects you come up with. And I hope you have fun trying. Miss Margaret, do you think I should try anything else?
Well, you've given us a good idea of things that we can try in our own projects. So friends,
Yeah.
remember, you can take pictures of them and share them with your educator or pastor so that we can see what your work is with pieces of God's creation that you find.
Yeah. Just be careful. You're going to end up with some dirty fingers, most likely, because I have some paint on my fingers and markers. So I'm going to have to go wash my hands. Be careful. Put down the protection on your tables and just have fun. Thank you, Miss Margaret. Guys, y'all have a good time.
Thank
Can't
you,
wait
Miss
to
Harriet.
see it.